So that's it? What, we some kind of Suicide Squad?
Not anymore, Will Smith. A lot of people would prefer to just forget about the 2016 film, and while Warner Brothers hasn't quite figured out how to go back in time yet, they are giving us something of a do-over. We'll be seeing a few familiar faces and a whole lot of new ones hitting the screen in 2021 for The Suicide Squad. Because I'm sure that's what was missing in 2016. The word the.
The hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Anyway, here are 6 quick things we know about the return of Gotham's Worst. And lucky you, you've stumbled upon some of YouTube's best, so go hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date on all the latest movie news, reviews, interviews, and more.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. The voices.
Up first, we know that James Gunn will helm the new film. After the insane drama that was his being fired from Marvel, Gunn put some feelers out there with Warner Brothers and was eventually hired to just write The Suicide Squad. Because who better to pen a movie about the superhero world's rejects than a superhero studio's reject? Gunn did eventually make up with Marvel and is prepping to work on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but has also upgraded to writer and director of Warner Brothers' new film. And he is prepared, to say the least. He recently revealed on Twitter that he has researched the hell out of the comics in preparation for this movie. Specifically, I've read every single comic featuring every iteration of the Suicide Squad and probably 85% of everything Harley Quinn has ever been in up until the time of shooting. Holy freaking comic research, Batman.
Batsy.
We also know this won't exactly be a sequel, and it won't be a reboot either. While its predecessor wasn't the greatest, they're not completely trashing it and starting fresh. While DCEU producer Peter Safran has said, first of all, we don't call it Suicide Squad 2 because it's a total reboot. Gunn later clarified, you know, sequel and reboot are all so narrow, there's so many terms, it is what it is, you'll see in 2 years when it comes out. So it seems The Suicide Squad will fit in the existing DCEU, and there will definitely be some returning elements from previous films, but there will of course be some changes to look forward to as well. Fortunately, there are a number of returning stars from 2016. The most obvious, of course, is Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, who even got her own standalone film earlier this year. You know, before the Rona. Let's be real, this wouldn't even be a movie without Robbie coming back again, and she's bringing a few other favorites with her. Jai Courtney will be back as Captain Boomerang, Viola Davis will return as Amanda Waller, and Joel Kinnaman is back as Rick Flag. But just like Harley saw her own transformation between Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, we can definitely expect the rest of the returning stars to go through some changes too. And don't worry that some of the cast isn't returning, there are some pretty awesome new stars joining the ensemble, including Idris Elba, John Cena, and Pete Davidson. Their roles are being kept super under wraps, with only a few hints here and there. Davidson has shared some details about his look, saying, I was in a big, uncomfortable costume, I got to hold Glocks and stuff like that. Gunn, on the other hand, is being a lot more evasive about John Cena's character, though he did respond to a fan's suggestions on Twitter with this. You're gonna freak out on how amazing John Cena is in the Suicide Squad as the character he does play. We do know that Idris Elba won't be taking over for Will Smith as Deadshot, though Smith definitely isn't returning either. David Dastmalchian will for sure be playing Polka-Dot Man though, in addition to Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher and Steve Agee as the voice of King Shark. We'll just have to wait for Gunn to give us more details or even for a trailer to come out to figure out the rest of the star-studded cast's roles.
Was this, cheerleading tryouts?
Following Margot's R-rated return as Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad is expected to follow with an R rating of its own. It isn't hard to see why after the success of movies like Deadpool and Joker, which killed it for Warner Brothers last year. James Gunn hasn't confirmed the rating yet, but given his track record and the material we're looking at here, we can pretty safely assume. DC has a pretty big lineup over the next few years, and The Suicide Squad is right smack in the middle of it. It'll be released on August 6th of 2021, following Wonder Woman 1984 this year, but before The Batman on October 1st of 2021. With principal photography and filming done before the pandemic hit full swing, the film is thankfully now in post-production. That means it's on track and is not expected to be delayed by COVID-19. Gunn even tweeted a few weeks into quarantine that we should have nothing to worry about, and that, quote, "We are on or ahead of schedule. We were extremely fortunate to wrap shooting and set up editing from our homes, due to a post-production team and studio with foresight before quarantine." Bam! Take that, Rona! So that's it! That was 6, and I gotta say they were pretty quick. But before we wrap, I want to hear from you. What are you most looking forward to from James Gunn's The Suicide Squad? Or are you even looking forward to it at all? Let me know in the comments, and while you're down there, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg as far as what's coming from DC in the next few years, and you're not going to want to miss any news that drops here at Cinema Blend.